Smart pricing strategy. Here we go, Trey. To answer your question. First thing I want you to do is price based on the market, not on your feelings. I feel I'm worth. I know my worth. Oh, I know my worth. If a barber tell you know your worth, run. Please, run away. I know my worth. It's like a cry for help. They seeking some sort of validation. I know my worth. Get out of here, man. What's the market saying? Right? Not based on your feelings. I've invested so much. I'm worth more now. I got 6 licenses. We don't care. The market don't care. Let the market tell you what time it is, okay? Price based on market, not feelings. Start at 40% of your local household income. This is a quality starting point. So go to the local bank, right? Go to the local bank and say, can I get the demographics? You can even Google it, get some census data, right? You can Google it. Just sometimes it'd be crazy links on Google. I don't want you to click on the wrong one, get inaccurate data. Make sure it's a trusted website. But you can even go to your local banker, right? And say, hey, man, what's the average household income for this zip code that your shop is in, right? And if they tell you what that is, you usually can start at 40% of that. So if they say, okay, the annual household income for a family of 4 here is $100,000. A $40 haircut is cool, right? Now, if you go on the side of town where the average household income is $40,000, trying to get them to pay $40 is going to get you cussed out because they don't have the resources there, right? Does that mean that closer cities around it, the 2 closest zip codes around it, those people don't got money and they might travel to you? That's possible. But we trying to start you off on the right foot with the local community until we get good and we're able to attract people outside. I'm talking about the starting point. Go where people can afford to get a haircut, right? This is just a basic rule of thumb that I've used ever since I've been in business. When I was trying to figure out my pricing strategy, years ago, I didn't want to listen to what everybody else said. I was like, let me go get accurate data and make a decision based on numbers, not feelings. Okay? Check a couple in the area, market research, right? A couple shops in the area, right? But go get you some real income data numbers and then go off of that. All right? That's just a starting point. Doesn't mean you stay there forever. Okay? Yes.
On the pricing. Now, do you recommend once you start, I see you become an area, you have a price set for like 3 to 5 years, you know, raise your price. Have you ever grandfathered some of your loyal clients to a certain price point, raise it on other people?
Yep. Raise it on new clients and grandfather some of your people in. I did that before, right? You're managing the relationship with each person is different. It just is. Person who comes every week, person who comes once a month. Which one's more valuable to you? Person who comes every week, yes? You're going to manage it differently. I used to get some of my people that came every week, I used to give them a free haircut on their birthday back in the day. But then I had other clients get wind of that, and they would come once every 2 months and think they were supposed to come get the haircut on their birthday too, and I had to tell them no. And they were like, but I thought that's what you did for your clients. I said, I do, but you come 6 times a year, they come 50. You aren't the same. Sorry. They're like, oh, man, that's messed up. No, it's not. You should have asked for clarity. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I'm not about to let you finesse me. So it is what it is, right? So always be clear, right? Stand firm in your business practice, right? But don't be so caught up in process that you forget about people. Make sure the communication is there, okay? If you're enjoying the teaching in this video and want to take the next step and legitimize yourself as a barber by getting licensed in the state of Georgia, I want to encourage you to check out ProFRESH Barber Academy. You can do that by visiting our website at ProFreshBarberAcademy.com. You can click the button called Apply Now. Click that and go through our program offerings, see which one might fit you. And if you have any questions, you can give us a call here at the school and we'll be happy to answer any of your questions and get you well on your way to starting your journey to becoming a professional barber. As always, have a great day. Here's when you raise your price. This is always the popular thing, right? People are like, oh man, when do you raise your price? When you're 80% booked. 80% booked. I like to even say, if it's just based on simple numbers, man, if you ain't doing 10 clients a day on average, 5 days a week, you ain't doing at least 50 clients a week, you ain't booked, G. I'm just gonna call it facts, man. And then not only just booked 1 week, not Christmas week when you did 50, that ain't time to raise your price, right? Have you been doing it for 90 days? Are you hitting 50 clients a week for 90 days, 10 to 12 weeks, right? If you consistently are doing that, then you deserve a price increase, in my opinion.
In that example,
Yeah.
what happens if you, for a little bit more, like say you're not doing 10 clients a day, say you're doing like on average, like say 6 clients a day, but say Saturdays, that's your big day, and you're doing like 15 clients.
Oh, it's average. It's average. 50 over a 5-day work week.
Okay.
I don't care how you get it. One day you do 6, Saturday you do 20, but you end up with 50. That's cool.
Okay.
It's the number 50 that I'm concerned with.
Okay.
In a 5-day work week. Right? You work 6, that's cool. Right? 50 is the number, man. 50 is the number. $40 haircut, 50 clients a week, 2,000 in revenue. That's the number. Because here's what happens, right? When you're doing 50 clients and you raise your price $5, you're gonna lose 20%. Now you're down to 40. Right? So 50 at 40, let's just say that's 2,000 just for the sake of revenue generated, okay? If you go up to $45 and you do 40 heads, that's $1,800 revenue generated. So you still drop down $200, but you opened up 10 spots. Right? So technically you are making less money, but now you have more time to fit new people in at a higher ticket. You see what I'm saying? So then when you get back to 50 times 45 is 2250 now instead of 2,000. See how we go? Here's what most people do. They raise their price and they call it, I'm working smarter, not harder, but you just lost revenue because you don't know how to attract new leads. And you're not getting new leads into the business. So now you make $1,800 a week instead of $2,000 a week. So you're making less money. You raise your price, you post it online, you got a little dopamine hit, little ego hit, a bunch of barbers in there with the fire emojis like, yeah, but you're making less money. Stop doing it for the gram, man, please. You understand what I'm saying? And then they fade to black. They just slide out the back door and now they selling insurance and stuff. Now they selling stocks. They teach you how to be a trader because they done messed up their business, man. But they're not going to say that. Nah, they on the bigger and greener pastures, bigger and better things, man. Because, people going to go online. They got to make sure it's perfect. Everything lit. It's lit over here. No, it ain't. You quit over here. That's what you did. You ain't lit. You quit.
So when you lose credibility as a barber, if you raise your price, then you lost some clients, and then you go back and lower your price, does that hurt your credibility?
I don't think so. I think it's a grown man acknowledging he made a mistake, which I think increases your credibility. As long as you acknowledge it as a mistake. If you try to be like, yo, God told me to go back down, so, because I'm a changed man now, I'm going to just go back to, $40 because the Lord just spoke to me. Now, he might have. But why you ain't asking before you raised it? You know what I'm saying? Because he could have spoke to you then, too. Like, people on the way back down, they want to call on God, which I ain't mad. You need to call him. But you should call him on the way up, too. You understand what I'm saying? So people, but they don't want to acknowledge, hey, man, I thought I was the guy. I thought I had demand. I raised my price. I got a little ahead of myself. And after looking at the numbers and stuff, I made a mistake. So I want to redo it, man. I was doing it for the wrong reasons. My ego was in it. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to people who gave me bad advice. I made a mistake. And I'm sorry. That hits different, don't it? You can make mistakes, bro. You're a human being. It's okay. Make a damn mistake. It's fine. It's how we learn. Winners know that. And you know what other people are going to say? Yo, at least he acknowledged it. You know what I'm saying? I can respect that. We've all made mistakes before. You may grow a more loyal following as long as you keep the consistency with the transparency. Right? You never want to be manipulative, man. People respect authenticity. Be authentic, man. We make mistakes. I remember I did my first year here, right? I came in and I was really tired one night, and I came in the next day and I wasn't prepared for class. And I was teaching class and I came upon something and I wasn't sure and I was fumbling over my words in year one. And I stopped in the middle of class and I said, you know what, y'all? I'm not prepared today to teach class. I'm sorry. I didn't do what I was supposed to do, and it'll never happen again. This was like 6 months in. We was in chemistry class in the first year, and I made a mistake. I acknowledged it, and I was like, it was about 8:30, 8:40. Right, class supposed to go till 9:30, and I was like, I'm not prepared today. And I was like, I'll be better tomorrow. I'm sorry. And the students was like, yo, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Versus me getting up here acting like I know what I'm talking about, and I'm struggling, fumbling over my words, saying the wrong thing, because I didn't put the work in. And I just was tired because I was teaching all day, every day, Monday through Friday. And I just crashed out when I got home. I was tired. I used to go home at 9:30 at night, and I would, from 10 o'clock to midnight, I would prepare for the next day, just making sure I'm sharp. Because this was my first time through barber school when I opened this one the first year. It's my first time through school. So I had an idea of certain things, but certain things I had to really prep and study and get my own layout on how I wanted to explain it so it made sense to me. And I just was tired. Fatigue got the best of me, and I showed up unprepared and didn't have a good day that day. But I acknowledged it and I owned it. And the students respected that. Versus me trying to act like I got it all together. That's not what the white jacket is for. It's to be somebody who is willing to sacrifice and lead the way. That's really it. So, telling the truth when you make a mistake is always a better idea than trying to act like you got it all together. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's just human. That's it. All right? And the other thing is you need to solve real problems. Real problems. Think about all the problems a person encounters when coming to get a haircut. Solve as many of them as you can. All right? When you go up and approach people, we talk about this, right? The 1 second method. Smile, eye contact, compliment them. Smile is the universal language. It's non-threatening, right? You walk up to somebody like, you be like, yo, bro, why you walking up on me like that? But if you walk up to them showing all your teeth, you're just happy, man. Compliment disarms them and builds trust. Hey, man, nice shoes, man, like those. Man, a beard is fire, man. If you ever need a barber, you know what I mean, a backup barber, I got you. I'm close by here. How often are you in this area? Right? Just basic conversation. Right? Smile, eye contact shows confidence. You look a man in the eye, it shows confidence, right? Eye contact. All right. Versus if I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? Good day, bro. I'm looking off. You're like, the hell's wrong with this goofy? If I look you dead in the eye, hey, man, pleasure to see you today, man. Happy to have you. It's difference. And masculine mannerisms, man. Be a man. Be, you know what I mean? Be grown. Show confidence. You cool. Nobody like nobody lacking confidence. They listen to your offer when you hit all three of those in the 1 second method. Smile, eye contact, give them a compliment. Cool? Last slide. Consistency is your currency. Consistency is your currency. All right, the more days you cut, the more clients you keep, man. Y'all ever heard of the best ability is availability?
Here you go.
I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. Right? The best ability is availability. When my clients call me up, man, like I got 3 of them coming today. I could say, nah, I'm at school today, man. I'm shooting content and stuff. I'm at school today. I ain't got time to do that. But I make myself available for them. Why? Because it's important. Yes.
So I know a few classes ago,
Mhm.
I remember you saying like to make sure you have like one off day.
Yeah.
So like,
Mhm.
how would you balance like, say if a client
Mhm.
hits you on that off day,
Mhm.
how would you balance that?
No, if it's that off day, you just tell them. You just tell them, man. And that's Bible, man. God created the world in 6 days, rested on the seventh. And doing that is a sign that you trust God. And that's who's the creator of all things anyway. So you can tell them that. Listen, man, on Sundays, I don't do no haircut. I don't. Now, if you want to make Tuesday your one day, I don't cut hair on Tuesdays, bro. Any day but Tuesday, I got you. Those are quality boundaries set. And if that's what you truly believe, stand on that. Right? Because your clients will find a way around that. Especially if you respect it, they'll respect it. Okay? But you got to be consistent, right? That's your currency. Consistency. Minimum 5 days a week. I say 5 days, man. You can earn your way to working twice a week, 3 times a week, but that comes after years of demand and excellence, where you can kind of filter your people in like that. Because you got another project you want to build or something like that. That's fine. But you got to keep the main thing for a while. Okay? All right? Until you make 6 figures. And then you can start doing that. Do not do that before it's 6 figures, please. I mean, you can design your life how you want. I ain't trying to tell you not to. But 5 days a week is a good starting point, man. Be consistent. Work those hours. And availability is the best ability. All right. Any questions about today? Did that help you today? That was good? I think that helps when it comes to building clientele. That's what you got to do starting out, especially when you don't have a budget to do marketing and ads and all that stuff. You don't got money for that because you're a beginner, right? You're just trying to get some reps. And that's why I love the free, right? Because we can't compete with the big companies, right? We can't hire thousands of dollars for a marketing team and all that stuff. We got to do it on our own. We got to get it out the mud, yes? That's why free is so powerful, because it allows you to put out the same effort. They using cash, you using sweat. But it's just a unique way to fight back against the more dominant companies, right? Until you can build margin in your life, and then you can spend money on that, right? But when you're starting out, man, you got to do the free is for me method. Cool? If you're exploring the possibilities of becoming a professional barber, I want to invite you to grab my book called What's in Your Hand by Will Stamm. This is my entrepreneurial journey that is sure to not only motivate you, but inspire you by showing what's possible as a barber. From starting out with an empty chair, all the way to building a 7-figure barber empire, all of the life lessons, the interpersonal relationships that I had to build, and just the journey of the struggles of being a barber and making it that far. I share all of that wisdom in this book. You can get it on Amazon for $19.99. So go to Amazon. The link will be in the caption of this video. Take a look at it. And as always, have a great day.